What's going on, everybody? How's it going? How's life? I spent all my money on Simba cams. I don't have enough. I got you. You're good. I got you. What's going on, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. A little background music as we warm up here. As we warm up. Just a little in the background. Alrighty, folks. Hope you're ready for another fun day. We got a lot of API work to get into. We got a lot of little surprises at the beginning of the stream. Hi, friendly neighborhood spider Leon. Hey, what's going on? Superman without his glasses, Kenny. 2-hour job interview today. Fingers crossed. What? Crumb Hustler, thank you. 5 gifted subs right out the bat. Whew. Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Really, thank you. Appreciate all the support, Crumb. Hey, thank you, Kobe. How y'all doing? So today, the question of the day, we always like to start off with the question of the day. The question of the day is, what was your favorite TV show growing up? What was your favorite TV show growing up? I want to see that in chat. What were you watching? Like around, like old enough to be watching on your own, like 10. Static Shock, all right. Fresh Prince, Prison Break, Friends, A-Team, Power Rangers, DBZ, nice. Street Sharks, whew. Pokemon, all right. Gundam Wing, X-Men, Sonic X, Simpsons. Oh, Sailor Moon. Oh boy. Oh boy. Goosebumps. Goosebumps was wild back in the day. I actually have I have a R.L. Stine signed Night of the Living Dummy signed copy. I waited at the library for like 3 hours to get that sucker signed. Dexter's Lab. Yeah, we got a lot of good ones in here. Got a lot of good ones in here. Tower of Terror. Are you afraid of the dark? Are you afraid of dark? Whew, Snick. Friday Night. Whew. That was the heat. Teen Titans. Zoom. Zoom was my jam. So, growing up, my mom had a rule. I was only allowed to watch 1 hour of television a day. But if I watched PBS, I could watch as much as I want. So I watched a lot of Zoom. A lot of Zoom. PBS all day. Wishbone. Wishbone was the jam. What? What? Orasi, thank you so much for the 20 gifted subs. That is wild sauce. What? What? Yo, we out here today. M Code said GameStop money. Oh, Rossi, what? Holy smokes. Thank you so much. That is wild. What? Okay. So, for those that are new and don't know how things work around here, everything that comes in for the stream, that all goes to a donation to the nonprofit I work at during the day. We saw last week during the best week ever that we made an initial $1,500 donation, and I'm getting ready to do another one that's going to be up there as well. Oh, Rossi, I do know that. Tell them I say hello. That's wild. Thank you so much. I was looking at it. We're pretty high. We have so Like, I think there's a sub for every person that's in chat. Like if everybody was in it the same day and like all of them hit, like everyone here would be subbed, which is wild. That is so wild. Hey, what's up? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. 02134. Yeah, what 02134. I forget the like it's like 02134. I forget it. 3D, I forget it. But it's like I can hear it in my head, I just can't say it. Yeah. Thank you, Alyssa, for putting the spend Bezos's or Andy's money. You can spend Andy's money with the Amazon Prime these days. But always, thank you so much for the support. Never necessary, but I appreciate it. That money goes to really good use, helping the folks at Resilient Coders. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Alrighty, folks. Got a lot of fun stuff tonight. Going to play with some APIs. Going to get some data back from NASA. We're going to build a card game using a deck API. And then we're going to build a book tracker using some APIs, the Open Library API. It's a lot of fun stuff to start building some real applications. We're going to look at something called local storage so that our apps can persist even after we refresh the page. And then we got some good homework over the weekend, and we got some surprises for tonight. So, hey, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for showing up on a Thursday. For putting in the work. We got a lot of stuff to get into. Yay, this is stuff I wanted to do, didn't know how. Hey, let's go. Brian, I would like some birthday hat time, please. My birthday was yesterday and today. Hey, let's go. Do I have it queued up here? Hold on. B-Day. Let's see. There we go. Happy birthday, Brian. There you go. I guys gotta do it. You gotta do it. Celebrate. Happy birthday. I have like all the new scenes on the stream deck. Some that you'll see next week that are spicy. Ooh, they're good. Next week, the scenes, beautiful. Chop redeemed a check on Simba. All right, let's take a look at Simba as folks get in here. Oh, Simba's chilling today. How you doing, Simba? I got priorities. He is a good boy. Oh, who are you here? Who are you here, Simba? How you doing? He's a good boy. Did Bob get closer? Actually, Bob got pushed back a little bit because the camera was focusing too hard on Bob, and I couldn't get Simba in the shot. So Bob's back just a little bit, and Simba's now there. Look at those eyes, yeah. And word on the street, Will, as you know, has been working on some emotes for us. Thank you, Will, so much for working on those emotes. We submitted to the Twitch. I don't know if they'll both get approved, but we submitted to the Twitch. The first one we submitted was a Bob emote, and the second one is a Nuns emote. So I think the Bob one will go through. I'm not sure about the Nuns one, but thank you, Will, so much. Is Bob rocking a Man U scarf? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Microsoft followed me on Twitter today. Let's go. And we got some other emotes that are coming down the line that I think are gonna be really fun. Some like really good community related ones. I'm excited to get them hopefully approved. So yeah, thank you, Will. Can we get just a wall of micro Leons, please, to say thank you to Crumb and to say thank you to Orasi and their wonderful wife, and to also thank Will. Just a wall. Let's see the emotes. Especially if you got an emote today. If you got one for the first time, I want to see that wall. Let's go. We'll come back to me. All right. Cool. Got a lot of fun stuff tonight, folks. Let's get into the mix. Let's get it going. Lots of stuff to review. Let's go ahead and take a look at the slides. Alrighty, we're reviewing some APIs today. I'm gonna chill the music. We're reviewing some APIs today. We got some fun apps that we're gonna build. So tonight's about building, like getting some real projects done. I think that's always the hard transition to go from kind of like, you know, some of the basics, but how do you start building some things that have real functionality? That's what we're gonna get to tonight. On Saturday, when we come back on Saturday, we're going to Gotti615. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. 3 months in a row. Whew. Let's go. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. We got to look at some more APIs, start building some real applications, right? No Friday class. Exactly. No Friday class. I forgot that I had a doctor's appointment still on the books. When I planned out the Fridays, I forgot that I still had it scheduled. So appointment tomorrow, so I can't do the stream because it's at the same time. But next Friday we're back, regular schedule. Exactly, Vla. Health first, right? We're back on regular schedule. We'll be adding those Friday classes. So not this Friday, but next Friday we're coming back and we're doing the what should be on your resume, looking at some more portfolios, and I'll be sharing the template that you can use for your resume. Okay, so come back not this Friday, next Friday. Saturday we have office hours, and Saturday's gonna be a lot of fun. Saturday we are going to spend a half hour on normal questions, open to anything. And then the other 2 hours are going to be more Git and GitHub stuff. We're going to start seeing some of the more advanced functionality of GitHub, how you can start like doing the things that we're going to need to do as developers working together. And then also how we're going to start submitting our homework. So we're going to review more in Git and GitHub. So if you're still a little shaky on that, that'll be Saturday. And next Friday will be our next kind of career skills class. So Fridays are going to be all career skills, the things that you need, the tips, the secrets, the things that are going to help you get in the door at the companies when you start applying. Cross. Alrighty. Bill Gates, thank you for the hydration. Thank you for the hydration, Bill Gates. Appreciate all the support yesterday as well. I love when like the little the random ones that we don't know and we look. I always thought like Daddy Yankee and Booty Liquor were fake ones, but nope. OGs. Not fake, but new. That's what we'll say. Leon, if we couldn't figure out the assignment to use one API to get info from another, can we turn it in later? Yeah, sure. We can do that. Alrighty, folks. Let's get it moving. Alrighty. Always like to have some questions. Are there any questions before we jump into everything this evening? We already got the one going. Let's see one more. Do you know anything about Salesforce? Do you think that's a harder way to go about getting a job than what we are doing here? It's not the same thing, right? Like there are a lot of training programs for Salesforce these days. And it's not the same type of like high growth career if you're just specializing in Salesforce. It's also like one of the credential traps that I see. Like everyone wants to sell like a really expensive course on it, or the courses that are out there haven't been that high quality. So I think you can get a job doing Salesforce things, but it kind of depends on the program and what you're looking into. And it might not be as high growth as, say, software engineering could be. One of my students, I actually had 2 students that work for Salesforce or had worked for Salesforce. And so I kind of have a little inside knowledge on kind of like the certification tracks and things like that. And they're not as, I think you have to be very careful going into that type of logic. Yeah. But could that be a good job? Maybe not as high growth as software engineering could be. Yeah. Hey, Leon. Midwest Dev said, "Do you have a merch store or any other sources to support the stream?" So we do merch drops. So I'm trying to do like a merch drop once a month, once every 2 months. Right now, Chop, one of our mods, them and their parent helped me kind of find a better quality printer. And so I'm working with them to like get inventory, and then we're gonna do another drop. So we won't do the normal the normal Streamlabs drops anymore. We're gonna do a drop where we can get better like higher quality, but also like more sizes, right? So just to be open to as a broad of our community as possible. So that's kind of what's coming. You'll see those hopefully in the near future. It's a little bit longer of a turnaround because it's not print on demand, right? So that's a little bit different. And then the only thing that right now that we have turned on are bits and gift like subs. So like you can subscribe to the channel, you can do bits here. Like I said, I want everything that I always do to be free. I'll never share something that's not free. I always really try really hard to only find free resources for the things that I mentioned in class during class time. And so I haven't turned on things like donations or even like I've shied away from like affiliate stuff. And the sponsorships that I've gotten and that are coming up, that all goes to y'all. So it's more prize packages or so nothing's coming in to me directly. It's all going to y'all or to Resilient Coders, which is the nonprofit I work at. So I've stayed away from some other stuff. We might think about donations because a lot of people have been asking for it, and I wouldn't mind that going straight to RC. I would just want to set it up a little bit better, but yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that, MB. You can order from Amazon, and you can set your Amazon Smile to Resilient Coders. We actually get like a fair bit of money from that. We have a lot of people that do that, and it's like not nothing, which is really interesting. So I think maybe we can put that like one time, maybe like in our about or something like that. That could be cool. Could you remind us the technologies that are left to learn? Yes. So we are a third of the way through program. We are finishing up APIs and Git and GitHub this week. Next week, we're going to spend a little bit of time on object-oriented programming, and then we're moving to the back end, folks. And so we're going to spend a lot of time on kind of like back-end fundamentals, what JavaScript's really doing underneath the hood. And then once we get through kind of the back end and kind of our first kind of like database, which would be MongoDB, we're going to start building real apps with with those technologies. Then we're going to add some kind of computer science theory into the mix, add a little bit of Postgres, and then a lot of React. And so the whole point is to kind of get us to be full stack by the end of program, and to give us all the skills that we're going to need to command a job in tech. Yeah. The quality settings are depending on partner. And so we have all the requirements to make partner now. I submitted the application over the weekend. It's out of my hands. Hopefully they review it and let us in. But partner apps can take a long time. Like I read online anywhere from like 2 weeks to 8 weeks right now, just because there's so many folks that are streaming these days. So yeah. I missed the Leon sunglasses and Leon beer. We already had the Leon pillowcase. That was a one-off. The Sleep with Leon was a one-off. It's never coming back. Twitch let us in. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for the questions. All right. Things are going to get funky. Like you see that little edge right there. Got to figure that out. Things are a little bit funky. I'm testing a lot of stuff with the stream. I'm going to be swapping cameras over the next week. I'll be changing lighting. So bear with me as we try to get the quality crispy, as we try to make sure everything's kind of working tip-top shape, right? Yeah. So let's get into it. But keep in mind, gonna be a little funky. As always, want to put out this reminder: you are not alone. This stuff is hard. This stuff is difficult to learn. If you feel like you're alone in that struggle, you are not. Please join us on Discord. Check out the Struggle Bus channel. You're going to see that the things that maybe some of the things that you're feeling, other folks are feeling, and you're not alone. the best part about this community is seeing the folks kind of uplift each other when things get tough, when things get hard, for folks to be able to get the help that they need. So keep that in mind as we leave kind of the traditional JavaScript and we get into the back end. We're gonna have a whole new set of challenges. Things are going to be different and challenging in new ways, and so just remember, you're not alone. Health first. If you ever need to take a mental break, if you have something that you need to do or a concern that's health related, always feel free to prioritize your health. You should be prioritizing your health. And if you are able to, let me know, just so I have a heads up. You can DM me. My DMs get slammed. I will eventually get back to you within like a week or so. But let me know and prioritize your health, please, always. Just as a reminder, because we didn't talk about it last class, no networking throughout this entire month. It's not a requirement. I want you focusing on kind of your API work, building as much stuff as you can this week, pushing yourself through some of these new topics. So no networking until March. Client deadline is pushed back to March as well. That way you can have a little bit more time and focus on the things that you are building. One API, please. Yeah. Remember, we talked about some client alternatives. A client alternative would be to volunteer for a grassroots organization. That's totally acceptable. And contributing to free or open source software is also possible. So after Saturday's office hours, you should feel really comfortable maybe tackling some of these first timer only contributions. And so you'll have the skills you need GitHub wise to do it. And so that might be something that you want to pursue. Okay. Remember, no class tomorrow. I forgot the appointment. Forgot the appointment. So no class tomorrow. We'll have another one next Friday, though, and those Fridays will be a regular thing. Remember, we have YouTube. All of the current videos should be up there in terms of, I think the only thing that's processing still is the last class. That might need to be re-uploaded. I think it went out of order or something like that. But all the classes should be up on YouTube, !YouTube if you ever want YouTube. The other thing is that the office hours will be going up there. So last week's office hours will go up there. Last week's Friday session will go up there. And then I'll be posting the office hours and the Friday sessions going forward on YouTube as well. Cool. Newsletter. If you're not on the newsletter gets all the stuff first. You get all the links first. You get everything first. So if you want to join the newsletter, ! Newsletter in chat, that'll always get you on the newsletter so you can get all the cool stuff like at least an hour or so before other folks get it, half an hour before other folks get it. So never miss a class and get all the cool stuff early. We have a channel points update. So I have an inventory of Pokemon cards, a lot of Pokemon cards. And if you don't know anything about Pokemon cards, the prices are going through the roof. They are pretty wild right now. And so instead of selling them all off, which I didn't feel like doing because it seems like a pain in the butt, I figured I'd give them away. And so we have a new channel point redemption here that is, if you go ahead and you look at the new channel points, you can spend a hefty sum on getting a Pokemon card. And so if you redeem that channel points, I'm going to ask for your address and I am going to mail you a Pokemon card. Now, if this gets really wild and it becomes like really expensive for me to do this in terms of like shipping all over the world, we might see it disappear. But for right now, we're going to keep it up. We'll see who takes advantage of it. But we got some really good ones. And I think the first few are going to be some pretty impressive cards. So if you're the first person to redeem it, oh, Jimmy, you're getting a surprise, Jimmy. So go ahead, Jimmy. Send me your address on a Discord DM, and I'm sending you some cards that are worth a pretty penny. The first one is going to be a good one. I think the first one is going to be actually two cards. I'm feeling one of the sets here, one of the legendary sets, and so I think that'll be Jimmy. I think one of the legendary sets are coming your way. Cool. Alyssa, I got you a card. You want a card? I got a card coming your way. Saving for that spicy Leon rant. So you can go ahead and use that channel point redemption. If you use it, please make sure that you DM me your address on Discord, and I'll put it in the mail as soon as I can. Cool. I think this will be fun. It'd be a fun way to to get through some of my collection here. You don't know what you're going to get, and I think it'll be fun. Mac Tay redeemed the Simba cam. Let's go ahead and check in on Simba real quick. How's Simba doing? Oh, he's still going to town on that greenie. Damn, I used my points on a mock interview and got no Pokemon cards. Reptar, your favorite, or what was that? It was Oddish and something else. Let me see, what was that? Oddish and Mew. I think I have an Oddish card. Yeah. Who wants to lend me 30K? All right, so I'm going to keep adding what I think are fun channel point redemptions. I hope it makes it a little bit more fun for you. Ooh, we got another Pokemon card redemption. Lost with the redemption of the Pokemon card. I'm telling you, the first few are going to be good ones. So make sure that you go ahead and submit on Discord. Just send me your address, and I'll drop them in the mail. If you get them to me tonight, I'll drop them in the mail tomorrow. I know I got to go to the post office tomorrow anyway. Ooh, split with the Pokemon card redemption too. Hey, let's go. Sergio, I got 49K, so close. How many channel points for Simba? So if you click the little micro Leon down below, you will see the all the things you can redeem for. I see what Leon's trying to do. I'm going to hold off until OnlyFans. You got me. That's the trap. The trap is to make you spend all your points and no one ever gets the OnlyFans. I'm actually somewhat concerned because when it comes to partner review, I'm afraid they're going to see it and be like, oh, they're promoting their OnlyFans. That's TOS. But I think they'll see that it's a joke. Gray Turtle, that's not in our control. That's all in Twitch's end. So we're trying to get the partner status so that you get the quality options, but that's on them, not on me. We applied. We're waiting to hear back. I think it'll go through. Heck yeah, well, Izzy, that's the whole point. You got to be in here for the long haul to get there. Heck yeah, I will. The question is, do we 1v1 CSGO or do I go for that OnlyFans? Hey, the choice is yours. All right, let's keep going, folks. You can do mod mail or DM me directly. Either is fine. Cool. Let's keep it moving. The moment that a lot of folks have been waiting for. We now have our own Code Wars clan. You can do !clan in chat, and that'll take you to the official 100 devs Code Wars clan. So you got to take that whole string. And in your profile, if you take this whole string and you set that to your clan, that is the official 100 devs clan. So you join that one. You'll be in the clan with everyone that's a part of 100 devs. And we got some perks. We got some perks for joining the clan. So there is a feature on Twitch called VIP. VIPs get all the same treatment that somebody that subscribes does, plus one other amazing bonus that nobody else has, and that's the ability to post links. So the top person in the clan every 2 weeks will get VIP for that month. The person that makes the most improvement, so from furthest below to the highest, will also get VIP. So not only the person that's the top, but also the person with the most movement will get VIP. Now, there's one other really important thing about the Code Wars clan. Folks that are in Hamilton and that are in good standing, if you end the 2 weeks in the top 5, you're automatically moved to Hopper. So folks have been asking, how do you get from Hamilton to Hopper? This is one of the ways. We'll be introducing more ways, but this is a good way and an automatic way. You know where you're at. You know you can grind it out and get to the top. And so good standing means that all your homework is in. You've been checking in regularly. You've been doing all the things that are expected of Hopper and Turing. So if all of that is in order and you hit the top 5 for that 2-week sprint, you are automatically moved into Hopper. It's about to get real. Now, the perks of being in Turing and Hopper, they're going to get to be a little bit more. Once we start pushing all of our homework to GitHub, those that are in the Turing house and Hopper house will start getting code reviews. And so there's going to be a lot more perks to being in the houses. We'll start having more private review sessions with those houses, and I'll introduce other ways to get into the house. So the perks for being in Hopper and the perks for being in Turing are about to get real, and this will be your first way to move into those houses. So once again, that is the clan. Throw that in your profile and you'll be automatically added to it. It's the full thing. Hashtag 100devs through leonnoel.com/Twitch. And the top person we're going to do 2-week sprints. So the top person at the end of those 2 weeks automatically gets VIP and all the luxuries of being VIP. The person that made the most improvement will also get VIP. And if you are in Hamilton and are in the top 5 at the end of that 2-week sprint, you're automatically moved to Hopper. Once you add the clan to your profile, you'll be able to see access to everyone that's in it. It's on your profile page. Yeah, it's on your profile page. So if you go to your profile page, you can add the clan there, and that's what we'll do. Hey, Leon, did you really watch all those emission videos? I watched every single damn video. If you submitted me a video, I watched it. And unless there are some weird ones that didn't load or I didn't have permission to watch, but there are hundreds, and I watched all of them, and I watched them all at length. There were some funny ones. There were some really clever ones. And yeah, I watched them all. If you move from Hamilton to Hopper, you will keep both roles. So you will still have the Hamilton role, so you can still hang with all your Hamilton peeps, but you'll also get access to Hopper. Yeah, I felt that I didn't know this many people were going to apply, but I felt if you took the time and effort to make me a video, you deserved for me to watch it. So I watched every single one. It was a long time. All right. Yep. You go to your account settings, and underneath your username settings, you'll see the add the clan. Alrighty. So I'm really excited for this. I hope that it gives you a little bit more inspiration to put in some Code Wars muscle. And I think on Thursday's streams, or no, maybe on Friday's streams, we'll do the VIP, like who gets VIP and who gets moved and all that fun stuff. So the 2-week sprint starts now, and we'll check on next Friday's stream for the first one. So the first one will just be a week, and then after that we'll do 2 weeks. And so the sprint starts now, And next Friday during stream, we'll do all the moving. And then we will do every 2 weeks. Well, time to do a million Code Wars. I hope so. Cool. Last, before we get into our actual coding this evening, just wanted to say a huge thank you again. Looking at the numbers from our sponsored stream, we crushed it. Like wildly crushed it. Like blew it out the water, crushed it. For a community our size, destroyed it. The likes and retweets were there. The email opens on the newsletter were there. The click-throughs to the call to action were there. Nailed it. Nailed it so well. In fact, I have another call with Microsoft tomorrow to set up the next sponsored stream. So thank you so much. It all goes into y'all. So anything that comes in through sponsorship goes into y'all. And so thank you. And kudos to you. We 360 slam dunked it. And now we have the data. We know how powerful our community is. We have that data. I'm going to work really hard to get other fun sponsors so that you can get more swag, some more opportunities, and some more fun things coming your way. So thank you for showing out. It worked really well, and we're going to keep it going. Cool. All right, folks. We got a lot of fun stuff to get into this evening. I want to jump right into the learning. We're going to do some quick review. After the review, we're going to get into our objects, and then we're going to get to our APIs. We're about 40 minutes in. In 20 minutes, we'll always take our break at the top of the hour, so hang with us. Let's do a speed review. If you are new, we have a lot of new folks that joined so far today. Riddler, Pow, Backend, Bomb, Real Hot Cheese, Kosi, Penguin, Devoted Monk, Rhino Shark, Zoo9, WMG Amber, Jordy MJ. We got a lot of new folks here. If you're new, we're doing a 30-week software engineering bootcamp. You're able to join us. Go ahead and do exclamation point 100 devs in chat if you want to follow along. If you need the slides, exclamation point slides in chat. We'll give you the slides for today. They will auto advance. If you don't want the auto advancing, just chop off that live. If you haven't checked in yet, please check in. Seeing that activity on Twitter is what Microsoft got interested in. And so keep it up, please, so that we can attract other phenomenal sponsors. We are going to go through this material. If you want the starter code, it's exclamation point Discord, agree to our rules. And then in the follow along materials channel, you'll find all the starter code from today as well. Cool. This is week 12. Alrighty, let's keep it going. Programming, review, speed run. Oh, that's the other thing. If you're new here, we're going to do a speed run through this review. It's going to be very quick, hot and heavy. The point is not to learn it, it's just to review it. So if you don't know these concepts, you might want to check out one of our previous classes. Also, if you do exclamation point 100 devs, there is a catch up section, which will tell you the stuff that you should absolutely do if you want to catch up and keep going live. But that being said, hang out, ask some questions, see if you can pick it up as we move along. All right, what is a program? A program is a set of instructions that you write to tell a computer what to do. And if a program is a set of instructions, programming is therefore the writing of those instructions. Someone's going to town on that greenie. We are using JavaScript, right? It's the language that we use to communicate our ideas. It is a language that is highly in demand and a language that will help us on our way to getting a career in tech. We're going to skip the normal variables, conditionals, functions for today and get right into loops. What are loops? Loops enable you to repeat an action some number of times. In JavaScript, there are three main kinds of loops. We have for, while, and do while. But as we got into arrays and other things, we saw that there are still some other types of ways to do loops. For each, we saw map, right? And the loops really only differ in like one really key way, and it's kind of just how you determine when to start and stop the loop. Here is our for loop. For loop is pretty standard in terms of we set up a counter, we say when the loop should stop, and we say how our counter should increment each time it runs, right? So this loop is going to print the counter to the console each time. This will run. It'll start off at 1, so it'll print 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. It'll get incremented to 5, and then since 5 is not less than 5, it stops, and we'll only see 1 through 4 printed out. Cool. What are arrays? Arrays are what, chat? Arrays are toasters. Arrays are a data structure that enables us to store ordered collections. The tricky thing about arrays that we've talked a lot about is that they start counting at the index of 0. And there are a lot of really handy dandy methods that enable you to do really powerful things with your arrays. We saw map, reduce, we saw filter once or twice. There are all these methods that you can learn and pick up. Use the MDN as a resource to go through them when you forget. Add them to your Anki, but they add a lot of superpowers to your kind of basic JavaScript. You can declare an array using literal notation or chat. How's the other way that you can create an array? What's another way we can create an array other than literal notation? What's the other way? Yeah, coordinate, I see it. Yeah, we can use the constructor. So we can use literal notation, or we can use a constructor. And so we saw the constructor when we got to objects. Alrighty. When you declare an array, you can populate it with elements already in there. Know that the indexing starts at 0. So if you want the first element out, it's actually not the number 1, it's the number 0. And you can use that index to get stuff out of the array, but you can also use the index to put stuff into the array, right? There's also properties on the array, like length, which will tell you how many elements are in the array. Great for knowing if you're going to iterate through an array, like when to stop. Just stop when you reach the length of the array. And we saw some special methods that are tied to arrays, like for each, that runs once for each element that's in the array. So this for each will run 1, 2, 3, 4 times, each time printing to the console the element. Cool. Can you hear Simba chowing down? Can you like hear that? Is it like squeaky in the background? Yeah. Yeah. Barely. All right, I got to figure out how to get the gain. So that you don't pick it. It doesn't get picked up. But it's lively. No, it's cool. Simba ASMR. The YouTubers are just, the people on YouTube are like, what the heck is going on? It's Simba. It's Simba. Simba's going to town. What can I say? Simba's going to town on that greenie. There's a greenie inside that toy. And so, yeah. Free Simba Cam. Alrighty. Objects. What are objects? Objects are a collection of variables and functions. That's all an object is. It's just a collection of variables and functions that represent attributes and behaviors of a program, and of something used in a program, I should say. And we call those variables that are part of the object properties, and we call those functions tied to the object methods, right? So properties and methods, and you'll often hear us say the word keyed, objects stored, keyed collections. Yeah? You had a good time? Yeah? Uh-huh. Oh, look at the, oh, so I'm sorry, hold on. Yeah, you had a good time? Oh. He gave me this. He gave me the puppy eyes, and his tag, his tail was wagging. My niece eats our puppy's greenies. What? That's hilarious. I'm sorry. Shouldn't be laughing. One of my uncles, actually my great uncle, I guess. Yeah, my great uncle. One time he came into our kitchen. And we had a cookie jar, and he opens the cookie jar, he takes the cookie out, he starts eating the cookies, and he's just eating the cookies, and my grandma turns around, looks at him, and is like, you're eating the dog treats. And my uncle just looks at her, goes, and keeps eating the dog treats. Yeah, they were good. He kept eating them. Yeah. I believe, I don't fact check me on this, but I've heard, I'm not sure if it's a real thing or not, but I heard that because during the Depression, folks ate like a lot of dog food, that all the dog food and cat food sold in the US has to be like human grade consumption or something like that. I'm going to look that up. Actually, I'm going to look that up. But that's what I've heard. And so I think that the eating of the greenies and eating of the dog treats is probably fine. True. It's true. All right. I'll take wise work. All right. When you're thinking of objects, think of a physical object. What are its properties or attributes? What are its behaviors or methods? Physical objects are similar to our objects in JavaScript. You can think about their properties and their behaviors, and it's the same thing. Alrighty. Here is an object, and I'm declaring this object using what kind of notation here? What type of notation am I using for this object here? Yeah, we're creating an object using literal literal notation. And right here, I'm adding a what, chat? What am I adding right here? What is this? What am I adding here? A property, nice. And what am I adding here? A method, nice. So I'm adding properties and methods. Chat, how did I know that this was a property and not a method? Like, how did I know current time was a property, not a method? Yeah, no function, exactly. It's not a function, so it's a property. This is a function, so it's a method. Nice. And this is a little tricky down here, but what have I circled? Chat, what have I circled here? What have I circled? It is a method, and more specifically, yeah, it's a method call. Nice. It is a method call. Lovely. This weekend, I am working on Streamlab points, and my hope is that I can get it working so that I can give like the first person that responds points, and then those points will go towards like fun stuff and raffles and things like that. So you got to get your typing speed up if you're if you need to. Alrighty. What if we want to make a lot of objects, chat? What if we want to make a lot of objects? What if we want to make a lot of objects? What can we use? BTTV emotes? I'll look into it. A constructor. Yeah, we're going to use that factory, a constructor, to make lots of objects. Nice. Remember, if you want to create a lot of objects, just like you wanted to create a lot of physical objects, you would have a factory that makes them. We can use constructors to build a lot of objects. Here was the traditional way of doing a constructor. It was just a function, and that function had an uppercase letter that did nothing special, just let us know that it was a constructor. We would set the properties and the methods inside that constructor, and then we could spit out a bunch of objects from that factory. With ES6, we got what, though? With the newer versions of JavaScript, what did we get, chat? What did we get with the newer versions of JavaScript? Yeah, we got classes. Nice. So, we got some syntactical sugar. So let's go ahead and look at that syntactical sugar here. Whoop. Let's skip the prototypes for now. But we got this syntactical sugar, right? We got the constructor inside of the class make car. We got the honk and the lock here as methods without needing to do the binding, right? So we got the class there, and it still works the same way. We get a new make car. Alrighty. What I would like for us to do is to go ahead and open up the objects Netflix TV shows starter code. And inside that starter code, Going to go ahead and open that up. If you need the starter code, !Discord in the chat. Agree to our rules, and then there is a follow along materials channel that you can use. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and create a constructor, but not, I should actually call this a class. Sorry, I did say it. All right. I want you to create a Netflix TV show class with a constructor that makes Netflix TV shows. I want the objects that come out of this class to have 4 properties and 3 methods. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to get this going. I'll leave the slides up so you can take a peek. But you're going to go ahead and make me a class, please, for us that has a constructor that makes Netflix TV shows. I'll keep the class up. Let me grab the 5 minutes here. Going to put the timer on. Going to give you some chill music to vibe out to while you work. And there you go. Get her done. Last avatar. Ah, sorry to hear that. We're working on it. Hopefully soon you'll have the quality. Always give it a refresh too. We need more Bob. Well, thanks to Will, we'll have Bob emotes hopefully very, very soon. It'd be great if they like approved them. Let's see. Let me check. See if I doubt that they would have been approved already, but nah, not yet. Hopefully soon. Hey, that sounds great, Balco. Thank you, Nuclear. If you're watching the Discord stream, keep the tab open, please. Here. It is the follow along channel, Plasma. So follow along channel, there'll be a zip file. You download that zip, unzip it, and you'll have all the starter code that you need for today. Welcome some of the newer folks. Guts, Miriam, Spooky, Utter 33N, DJS. Welcome. Law with the done. Nice. Well done. Whew. I'm feeling this song. it's Miriam 2031. We got a couple duns. We making records. Hey. Okay, Mary with the done. Go for Mitch Dunn. My Texas Toast with the 5 months in a row. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. I really do. Thank you. 5 months. Wow. Jeez. Whew. My Texas Toast. Thank you. Spliff, I find myself listening to this song in my head a lot and nodding every single time it happens. Hey, let's go. While working with APIs, can we use classes constructors to spit stuff from a for each? Technically, you could. Yeah. Ooh, got a lot more Dunzos coming in. Tony Diamond with the Dunzo. Topher tries the done. Count the shells done. Hey. What do we do if an API fetch returns HTML instead of JSON? Well, does the API actually return JSON? That sometimes you can add a parameter, like a format parameter, a query parameter called format, and ask for JSON, but not every API will return JSON. I think we're gonna talk a little bit more about that when we get to APIs. But the thing is that some of the hardest parts about working with APIs is finding a good API. Not all of them are always still online. Some of them have really crappy documentation. Some of them have CORS errors, which we'll talk about. So there's a lot of things that can get in your way when using an API, and getting back HTML instead of JSON could be one of them. A 10 seconds. Dig deep. You got it. Cool. Alrighty, folks, come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Come on back. We're gonna go over this together, and then I think we're close enough to the top of the hour that we'll take a break. So let's go over this together, and then we'll take our break. All right. So let's go ahead and start with our class. And we'll call it, what should we call it? We should call it Make Netflix TV Shows. Cool. I'm happy with that. Happy with that. And then we're going to put our constructor in here. And our constructor, what are we going to take in? What are some properties that y'all used? What are some properties that y'all used for your show? Oh, title. All right, I like title. Genre. Nice. What else? Oh, we got a title, a rating, country of origin, recommended. Oh, number of episodes is a good thing to know about. That's something I want to look at. All right, let's do rating, and let's do num of episodes. There we go. Num of ep. I like that. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and say we're gonna follow the same pattern that we saw here, right? We're gonna do that this to bind that title equals title. We're gonna bind that title to the object that comes out. Now remember, these ones that we're doing on the left-hand side, the ones that we're doing here on this left-hand side, those are what the object, the properties are gonna actually be. But we can call these parameters whatever we want. And then these parameters would change on the right-hand side. But normally, it just makes sense to call them the same thing, right? Cool. And then let's do this last one. Last will be num of episodes. I always look at the number of episodes to know what I'm getting myself into. T-Pain streaming Rocket League right now, but priorities though. I've actually watched the streams quite a bit. Pretty entertaining. I'm here to learn. All right. I like that. You might have some different ones, but I like these ones. These are good. All right. And what are some methods you went with? Have you ever heard T-Pain without the auto-tune on the I think it was the NPR Tiny Desk, maybe? Fire. Start, stop, pause. That seems like a pretty good list. Add to list, play, pause. I like that. Let's do add to list, play, pause. Can I buy you a drink? Yeah. I thought you were asking if you can buy me a drink. I did have a drink today before stream. It's a tiny one, just to celebrate all the good stuff that's been happening. A little bit of Hibiki harmony. Never hurt me. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Let's say add to list. Add to list, and Remember, we're going to do the same pattern we had here. It's going to be a normal just function here, and we're going to put in whatever we want. And so let's go ahead and alert to the user that has been added to the list. To list, cool. And then there was a play and pause. That made sense. No, don't want to do that. Play. Jeez. VS Code, am I right? Alrighty. Play, and we'll just say alert show starting. And stop. Alert stopping. Or say show stopping. It's a showstopper, folks. Show stopping. Thank you, Reptar. All right, I feel good with this one. We got our 4 properties. We got our 3 methods. It's matching the same thing we had here in the slide. Let's go ahead and create our first show. What's a show? What's a show that's not on Netflix that you wish was on Netflix? What's a show that's not on Netflix that you wish was on Netflix? What's the name of your show called? What's your show? So I put your show title and what it is. Parks and Rec, Silicon Valley, The Bachelor, Knight Rider, Buffy. Ooh, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh, that'd be dope. Let's go with Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are you afraid? Can I not spell afraid? Yeah, there you go. Of the dark. Cool. It's gonna be a new make Netflix TV shows. We're gonna pass in the title. Are you afraid of the dark? Cool. We are going to pass in genre. What would the genre of Are You Afraid of the Dark be? What would be the genre there? Horror? Horror? We're gonna go with horror? Really? I guess so. Yeah, it makes sense, right? Spooky. It's spooky. It's and then let's go ahead and do rating. It's good. It's good. How does Netflix do ratings? It's like percentages, right? So we're gonna say like, I don't know. Let's make it a string, like 99% match. Or we can do stars, right? We can do stars. Let's do I don't know, 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars. And then we'll do number of episodes. Anybody know how many? Anybody? First person to put the total number of episodes for Afraid of the Dark in chat. Put afraid and then the total number of episodes. First person's getting a Pokemon card. Has to be real. You have to put afraid and the number. Afraid 75. All right. Well, I don't know, so it has to be true. Shells, was that a real answer? Like you looked it up? Ooh, let's see. Hold on. I'm seeing a lot of people saying 94. And who is the first person to say 94? It looks like Reptar was the first person to say afraid 94. Is that right? Is 94 the correct answer? All right, Reptar, Pokemon card coming your way. Send me your address and I'll send it your way. Well done. Well done. All right. And the last thing is number of episodes. And now we know it is 94. Cool. Let's save all this. Let's go ahead and open this in the browser. Inspect. I got a console error on line 3. Can you find the error for me? What's the error? What's the error? Bugaboo redeemed the Pokemon cards. What's the error? Where is it at? See the error? Error line 3. I made an error. Where's it at? Ah, it's a class. It's not a constructor. Boom. Save it. Oh, they're over here. Let's refresh. And the image is wrong. Hold on. Let's fix the image too while we're here, just for future. Oh, it's still Tony. Should be the circle. Let's change it. I did put the image. I forgot to change it here. The circle. Why didn't I save this? The circle on Netflix. Cool. Let's go back. Let's refresh this. Cool. Was it JPG? It is, of course. Boom. Save it. There we go. Anybody a friend of the circle? The circle of life. All right, so we got it up. No more console errors. Let's ask for, are you afraid of the dark? We look back, we get an object. We get an object. You can see that it has a title. It has a genre. It has a rating, and it has a number of episodes. Nice. Look at us go. Look at us go. Alrighty. Feel good about this. We got a nice class going. We're creating objects from it. We are at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and take a break. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock here. We're going to take a break. If you're able to, please get up, stretch, hydrate. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right. All right. See y'all in 5. How have you been? Hope it's another good week for you. It's been great. It's been a good week. It's been a good week. Lots of things to be thankful for sure. Blessings on blessings on blessings, as Big Sean would say. Thank you, Reptar. Taking a React course in Codecademy. Ooh, good luck. I really like Kent Dodd's free one on Egghead. That's my recommended one right now. All right, folks. I am going to take a quick break myself. I'm gonna let Simba out so he can enjoy the rest of our house, and I will be right back myself. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just gonna take a quick stretch and let Simba out. Right back. Any advice one has on who has fallen 3 classes behind? You got time to catch up. If you can over the weekend, catch up. 3 classes, not that much. We're getting ready to switch gears too. So we're getting ready to switch gears to back end, which will be a kind of a reprieve for a little bit. Absolutely, Miriam. You're totally fine. Absolutely. And pop the code back up. Yeah, let's go and put it back up for you. Kent Dodge. It's kind of like one of the best React instructors. Here, I'll put it in chat. We'll get to React, but not for a little while. It's free. Let me grab it for you. Here it is. Put it in chat. There you go. I like that one. Completely free. You can sign up for other classes on Egghead, but that one's free. Mandy, it's up to you. It's up to you. The colors are just letting you know where things are at, like the get status, like have they been committed or not, have they been pushed or not. Yeah. Did my own URL get censored? I see it over here. You got it? All right, cool. Yeah, that's a good one. And then as always, I'm a big fan of full stack open if you have some development experience. Yeah, offer still on the table, Jelani. Offer still on the table. It's up to you. I mean, if you really want to push yourself in that, I think going full stack first is the move. That's kind of why I teach it in that order. React is fun, but I think you get more. You get like having a deeper understanding of what JavaScript is doing, understanding event loop, callbacks, promises, async wait, all that stuff before getting into React can be a big help. Yeah. So that's kind of why we go that pathway. But if you're interested, don't let your dreams be dreams. Push yourself. Whatever gets you excited, right? Like that's the big win. If there's something that's going to excite you to learn, hell yeah, go for it. Alrighty, folks. Come on back from your break. Hope it was a good one. Hope you're able to get a little stretching if you're able. Hope you're able to get some hydration in. Let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Don't let your memes become dreams. Your gifts excite me to learn. Hey, let's go. Alrighty. Let's keep it rolling, folks. I'm gonna chill the music here. That was my microphone, not my music. There we go. Cool. What do you think about like light music in the background, like really faint? Or are you a big fan of no music? Oh yeah. More music, please. No. Too distracting. No music. All right. We'll keep it over. We might try it. We'll try it on one of the maybe office hours classes or something. We'll try it then. But I think giving people the focus. You can always play music if you want music, right? You can always play it. But if I play it, then folks can't tune it out. Cool. All right. So we did that. Let's talk about APIs. Let's get into some APIs work. We're going to review the NASA API finally. We haven't got a chance to get to it yet. And then we're going to work on 2 other API projects this afternoon. We're going to talk about evening. We're going to talk about local storage, and we're going to have some fun. So let's keep pushing. Alrighty. What are APIs? Chat, what is an API, chat? What is an API? It's a menu. Do you have a big application to see and learn? What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, okay. I see a lot of menus in here. I think we like that example, right? The way I like to think about APIs is that there is a simple interface for some complex action, right? Something complex is happening in the background, and you get a simple way to access all that stuff that's happening in the background. If you're at a restaurant, you have a menu. You point to something or you ask for something off the menu. That request makes its way all the way to the kitchen, and then you get back some delicious food. You've been using your APIs to build things over the past week or two where you're making a request with a URL, that's your interface, that's making a request all the way to a server, and you're getting some data back, right? You're getting some data back. And so we're going to keep that idea going. Currently refactoring an API with around 300 endpoints. Good luck and different. Good luck. Whew. It's a lot of work. Alrighty, so let's keep that idea going. Remember, you're going to make a request. The API is going to respond with some data, right? You're going to use that data. Hopefully we're getting things like JSON back that we can parse and use however we want. But as some folks in chat were saying earlier, they're finding APIs that are returning HTML, maybe even XHTML or some other odd stuff that maybe we used to use, right? And so it's kind of out of your control, right? These APIs, it's up to them how they implement it and what they send back, right? A lot of you are going to find that there are lots of little things that can go wrong with your APIs. One, they're not returning the data that you want them to return. Two, you might be running into like CORS errors, which we're going to talk about how to get around. You might be running into some other funky stuff. And know that sometimes it's not you. It's just the maintainer of the API hasn't done what they should be doing to keep it maintained. Or there are some security things that you're brushing up against. And so we're going to talk through that and start building some more APIs. We're going to talk through some local storage stuff and maybe start building some applications that are persistent, meaning that even if we refresh the page, we're good to go. Alrighty. The first thing that we've been using to make API requests is fetch. We will move on from fetch next week, but for now, it's a great way to kind of get started with APIs. There's a few things that you're doing. You are typing in your interface, which is the URL. You are parsing the data that comes back, and then you're able to use that data in this first then. And once you get data back, you can start to do some really fun stuff with it. So with this dog API, we got cute dog photos back. We were able to plug them into the DOM and see wonderful dog photos. And that was a great first API. You might need to add query parameters to your API. As you started to look at these other APIs, you're going to start noticing that at the end of your string, you might have a question mark and then different things that you add to your URL. Those different things might get you different data back from the API, right? It might get you different things back. And so sometimes you have to, a lot of times you have to read the documentation, see what query parameters are available to you. And based on those query parameters, you're going to be able to get different bits of things back. And so we're going to see tonight some different query parameters. You're going to see kind of how I kind of go about navigating documentation and querying parameters tonight to get the stuff that we want back. And we'll keep pushing. So let's go ahead and do the NASA API photo. So I'm going to start with my API template. So let me go ahead and open up my, going to close this code. As always, if you need that class, I'll share it after class. Look at this go. And let's go ahead and look at the API template. Index.html and main.js. So right now, this template just has the Pokemon API in it. So let's make sure it's all working. That way we know that we can start from this. So let me go ahead and open it in the browser. All right, put in a Pokemon. We know Ditto was the default one. Cool, let's open up the inspector. I got rid of the DOM manipulation just to make sure we're getting an object back. Boom. All right, so it's working. We know that the starter code is good. So let's think about the NASA API. So I went to NASA's API website, and unfortunately, you need an API key. And this is one of those hard things to do on stream because you can just take my API key and start doing malicious things. But fortunately, the API key is not really like, you don't need to do anything to authenticate. So you can just make a new one whenever you want. So Bob's going to get an API key. Don't tell NASA. It's okay, it's our secret. Don't tell NASA. Just put your hand over the screen. Mama didn't raise no snitch. All right, so now we got an API key, which is great. And I love it. I wish every API in the world did this for new developers. I love it. I love it. I love it. See what they did here? They gave us the URL, including the API key already plugged in, right? Already plugged in. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy that directly. And I'm going to plug it right into my template. Let's see if we get anything back. Cool. Plugged it right in. Let's save it. And I'm going to go back to the browser. I'm going to refresh. And I'm going to click my button because it's still tied to the click event. And boom, I got some data back from NASA. Lovely. Look at us go. We got some data back. You can see that we get a date, a URL, like an image. So we can get that image going. And we got an explanation. And so we can go ahead and start putting that image and explanation right into the DOM. Let's do that first. Let's put the image and explanation into the DOM. So that is HD URL and explanation. So we'll do a little bit of DOM manipulation here. Let's go document dot query selector. And the query selector that we're going to use is just the image. There's only one image, so we're just going to do image. And we're going to change its source. And we're going to set the source equal to data.hdurl. Because remember, we got that object back, and there's an HDURL property on it. So using that property, we can grab the image and put it into the DOM with that line of code. And then the other thing we want to do is grab the explanation. So let's do another query selector. Document.query selector. And this time, what was in our HTML? In our HTML is, we just have an H3. So let's just throw that into the H3. Cool. And we'll change the text that's inside of it. So inner text, set it equal to data.explanation. I can't spell to save my life. How do I spell explanation? Double A-N-A? Wow, I'm bad. Still not right. Explanation. Explanation. All right. Cool. All right. Cool. All right. We're good. Shh. Don't tell NASA. All right. Let's save this. Let's save this. Let's go ahead and refresh. Let's click that button. All right, the explanation got in there. The explanation worked. For whatever reason, the image did not. Let's double check that. Document.query selector image. All right, that looked good. That looked good. What's in here? What do we got? HD URL. That looks good. HD URL. HD URL, that looks good. Query selector image, that looks good. Let's go ahead and save this real quick. Let's refresh. Let's click that button. There we go. All right, maybe I didn't refresh. Look at that. Oh, that's a fire picture of the day. What? That's a fire. That's a fire picture of the day. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, we can scroll that way. If you don't know how to scroll horizontally, you just hold down shift. That's a good one. Look at that. America. Cool. Stop. Everyone's saying fake in chat. Don't tell NASA. Ma! Come here, I'm getting data from NASA. Ma! Alrighty. That's pretty. All right, so we're able to get some data back. And we're able to put it into the DOM. Let's go ahead and let's see if we can grab a date. And let's see if we can get a specific date. Let's look at their documentation. Let's look at the documentation. Let's go ahead and look at the overview. Get started. All right, here's the picture of the day. And we can see that there are some query parameters here. So you can have a date parameter. And here's the format, year, month, day. So year, month, day is the format, right? So year, month, day. And so we can get a value out of an input, and that should work. So let's just try it out. Let's hard code it at first. Let's put another query parameter. Chat, how do you chain query parameters? What if you want to have another one? Like I have the API key in here already, but what if I want to put another query parameter? How do I do it? Nice. There you go, chat. Yeah. You do the ampersand and then you can chain. Date equals, and let's put in a year. So let's do 2020. Let's do 2021. Let's do yesterday. Today is the 4th. So let's do, it was month and then day. So 02, 03. Was that how the API? Let's see. Month and then day. Yeah. So did 02, 03. So that should give us yesterday. Let's save this and let's refresh. Let's click the icon. Cool. So we got yesterday. We got the explanation. Let's go ahead and do the inspect. Oh, it's down here. Why is my browser window so big? There we go. We got an error. Let's look what we got back. We got an error. Do you know why we ran into this error, folks? Do you see this error? What's that error? Interesting. That's a video. So it doesn't always just return images. It can return a video. So we got a control for that. We don't want to change an image source if it's a video. So now we got to figure out the video. So let's go ahead and do a conditional first. And so it has a media type. So we can say media type. So we can do a conditional with media type. So let's go ahead and say if media underscore type equals was it, I don't know what the other one was. I think maybe it was image. Let's just say it was image. Then we do this. So let's say if it was image, cool. We'll just grab this here and we'll put that in the conditional. So we only want to change the image if we're actually getting an image back. And so we're going to do data.media type here. Sorry, you can't just do media type. You got to do data.media type, right? Yeah, we're supposed to do this for the push. That's why I'm going slow with it. But yeah, this is some of the push work. All right, so we got data back. There should be a media type. And if it's image, then we'll put it into the image. And we know that this regular one without the date. So like if we get rid of the date here, we know that that returns an image because today was an image. So let's go ahead and chop off the date and let's see if it works now. Let's make sure that still works. Let's refresh, click the button. All right, so that still works. We can see that the data type we got back without it being yesterday was image. And so since it was an image, we went ahead and we plopped in the image. Cool. Let's go ahead. Interesting. Not sure what that was in chat. but I think some folks got timed out. Sorry about that. We're going to go ahead now. And so now we're controlling for image. Let's do an else if. And we can go ahead and do data.media underscore type. Let's say if it's a video. Say it's a video. And then we can do the same document.query selector. But let's go ahead and do let's do our query selector, but now let's go ahead and put a video in here somehow. Let's go and put a video in here and somehow. So let's go ahead and save that for right now. We know we're gonna handle some video. Let's go ahead and look at what we get back if we add back this date. And so for now, let's just alert video. Let's just alert video. Cool. We're gonna alert video. Right? So if we get a video back, we can just alert a video. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's refresh. And we put the date back, so we should get the alert that we got a video. Let's make sure that's working. Great. We know we got a video. Great. So now that we have a video, let's control for that. We know that it works. We can check to see if it's an image. We know we can look to see if it's a video. All right. What did you all do, chat, to make the video work? Did you put something in your HTML? What'd you put in here? Put an iframe? What did you do? Put embed? And then on your iframe, what did you put? How did you use your iframe? What did you put? What are the properties on your iframe that you used? What did you use? Just the source? Okay, let's try it. Cool. We have an iframe. An iframe has a source. Let's go ahead and save that for right now. Let's go back here. And let's, instead of having our alert, let's do our document dot query selector. Let's target the iframe and let's do the source again. And set that equal to data dot, what is it? Is it video that we're getting back? What's the property that we're getting back? Let's see. We're getting URL. So it's just URL that we're getting back that we want. So it's just URL. So let's go ahead and just use data.url. No, we're going to go over all this. We're going to explain what's happening here, all the pieces. Let's see what happens. All right. Let's refresh. Let's click. Can anybody guess what just happened here? Does anybody know what just happened? Anybody know what happened? FBI got involved. It's my ad blocker. My ad blocker. Look. Hold on. Look at. I don't know if it might be too tiny, but look. Ad block is like skirt. It's like nope. Banned. So let's go ahead and turn off the ad blocker for a second. All right, let's refresh. And there you go. So you can see at the bottom, we have the video loading in now. You can see that we had the video loading in. We still got the explanation. Right? We had the we got the video and we got the explanation. So now it's working. So now we got this lovely conditional. I'm going to put my ad blocker back on. So now we got it working. So let's go ahead. It doesn't want you to make fetch happen. Let's go ahead and take a look and let's break down what's happening here. And then we still have one more thing we have to do. We still have to let the user put in the date. Right now, I've hard coded that date and we still need the user to be able to put it in. So let's go ahead and talk through what's happening first, just so everyone's on the same page. Then we'll work on getting the date to work. Okay. So at the very top, we have our event listener, right? When I click that button in the DOM, is running this get fetch function. The first thing we do is we're actually not even using this line yet. That's just the remnant from the Pokemon API. We're not using that yet. What it does is we grab our URL, which is the NASA API, with how many query parameters, chat? How many query parameters does this URL have right now? How many query parameters? Two, right? There are 2 query parameters. The first query parameter is API key, and the second query parameter is date. We know that our query parameters start after our question mark. So after the question mark, our query parameters start. And when we want to have multiple query parameters, we put the ampersand in between them. So we have API key equals, and then the API key, and then ampersand to do the next query parameter, and then date equals, and the value. So what we're going to do is we're going to eventually chop off this hard-coded date and let the user pick a date. Okay. For right now, we hard-coded it. And what we're able to see is that we're able to get some data back from NASA. And then what we were looking at is, all right, we got the data back from NASA. Let's see what type of data it is. So we have media type. If it's an image, we do this. And if it's a video, we do this. And so we got a little conditional logic going on now. If it's a video, we change if it's an image, we change the image's source to data.hdurl. HDURL is what came back with the data, what came back from NASA. Part of the object was a property called HDURL. It's not something I made up. It's what they gave me. And I grabbed that, and that's the URL for the image. I'm changing the source of my image to that URL. That's how I get the new image to show up. But then we saw sometimes the media type was video. And so if it's video, we plopped an iframe in there, and we're able to change the source of the iframe to the data URL. Remember, URL just came back from the API. I didn't make that up. It's something that came from NASA. And I was able to look, all right, all my data is in data, and I saw that there's a URL property. I can use that to set the source of the iframe. And then the last thing I did is I just said, hey, let's also put the explanation text in there. Every single time I get something back, right? Every time I get something back, right? I'm putting that explanation into the DOM as well in the H3. Why not just do an else? That's a good question. Chat, why might I not just do an else? Jen, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Thank you. Yeah, there might be another data type, or like another type of media, right? Another media type. There might be something else that we haven't thought through yet, right? Some people are saying GIFs. Maybe they saw some GIFs coming in, right? Maybe there might be sound. What if there was sound? I don't know, right? And so I just did an else if just in case there was some other media type, and maybe we can put an else in here so that we can do this. We can say, all right, alert media not supported. Contact NASA immediately. Cool. Alyssa, please ban on ad 1 for the next 10 minutes. I'm joking. Please don't. And if you won't do it, blah will. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So now we have a safeguard, right? We have a safeguard here. We have a safeguard. So if we get some media type back that we haven't controlled for, they'll know to contact NASA immediately. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and make sure it should be all working. We have that last thing to do. And the last thing to do is to get the date. What did y'all use for the date? What did y'all use for the date? How'd you get the date? Wilson F. Baby with the hydration. Cheers to you. What type of input? Did you just do a regular input? A date type? All right, let's try a date input. Let's go back to our input. Let's go ahead and change this input from text to date. Cool. Let's the first thing we should do, let's just console log what we're getting back for a choice. So let's console log choice. Let's put in choice. Cool. Let's see what we're getting back when we put the date in there. So let's save it up. Let's go back. Let's refresh. All right, we get a date picker. Let's pick today. Get Pokemon. All right, and we can see that we get a console log here. And that console log is in the correct format. It's in the format that we need. Remember, NASA's expecting the year, the month, and the day. So the date's working. So that we can just use that directly. So let's go to our URL here. And let's turn this into a template literal. And instead of having the date hard-coded, we can drop in our variable, which is choice. Cool. Drop in that variable, which is choice. And this should all be working. So let's go ahead and save this. Let's go back, turn off my ad blocker. Let's go ahead and refresh. And let's do today's date. Make sure that one works first. Cool. We can see the picture of the day from today. It's looking good. Let's go ahead and do yesterday so we can control for the video. Let's see if the video's down there. Yeah, we got the video down here. Looking good. Let's go ahead and pick a date from the past. A blast from the past, shall we? Let's go ahead and do 2010, November 18th. What did we get? It was an image. Let's refresh real quick. Let's try a date. Just picking randomly. All right, there we go. Uh-oh. Not working. Why is it not working? 2026-04. Uh-oh. Wow, Leon, you guessed my V-Day? Nice. Let's go ahead. Oh, it's just taking a while. Just took a while. See? It works. Just took a while. So, one of the downsides of using APIs is that request has to make it from your computer to the server and back. This is a large image, and I'm on a VPN right now. My laptop's on a VPN, and so maybe my VPN has a little bit of lag right now as well. So my request left my laptop, went to my VPN provider, from my VPN provider to the server, from the NASA servers back to the VPN, from the VPN back to my laptop. All right, so it's a little bit longer of a pathway, but it's working. A little bit longer of a pathway. It's sabotage OPSEC. I can't tell you. You can go to privacytools.io and see some really good ones. It's also the HD URL. Yep, this is the HD one. That's a pretty photo. What's the explanation? Oh, it's a galactic disk divided by dark dust lanes. We see dark dust lanes. What are dark dust lanes? Any astronomers in chat? Dark dust lanes. Where is Incella. I'm blanking on their name. Incella. They're an astrophysicist, right? We've rated them a couple of times. This looks thick. Yeah, Asaurus. I forgot the last part. Asaurus. She's on right now. Maybe we'll raid them at the end if they're still on. Maybe they can explain. We can show them our NASA API code and ask them to explain what this is. That'd be funny. Somebody host this. Somebody put this on GitHub Pages or Netlify so we can ask them. All right, let's go back to the code. Some folks want to see the code, and like I said, I'll share the code after class. But this was the push work. The idea was to be able to get a date, put that date into the URL, and then be able to get some data back, right? Be able to get some data back, and to control for the different media types, whether it was an image or a video, whatever. Cool. Questions about this one? So Reptar asked, can we do a loop if we were to initiate a loop through an array? Yeah, so this is just returning a singular object, right? So I could maybe make a bunch of requests and push a bunch of them to an array if I wanted to, and then loop through it. The cool thing about the Cocktail database is that it did return an array. And so we already had all the objects inside of the array. And so it was really easy to kind of iterate through them. So we could, but I don't believe this returns an array. Let's look at the documentation. Let's see if there's any way to get more than one. Date, start date, end date, count. If this specified the count randomly chosen images will be returned. So maybe you can get more than one image back. That'd be cool. Let's use this in Postman. I'm just gonna try. I'm not gonna mess with my code here, but I'm gonna grab this URL and try it in Postman. Let's see what we get in Postman. And count equals 5. All right, let's try it. So we get back 1, 2. Looky there. So if you use the count query parameter, you can get multiple back at the same time, and now you have an array. And so now that you have an array, you could build a carousel with this. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We could do it. Yeah. So I'll leave that for you. If you want to try building a carousel with the NASA API, I'll let you do it, and we'll go over it on Saturday. So on Saturday, we'll go over it together too. Yeah, come back Saturday. We'll turn this into a looping carousel. Cool. Let's go ahead and keep pushing. As always, I will share these code after class. Could we have used web components instead of iframes? Yeah, you could. Alrighty, let's keep going. Let's talk about some local storage. And then I think once we do some stuff with local storage, we'll take a break. So let's get through local storage. We'll take a break, and then we have 2 really cool apps that we're going to build when we come back from our break. So let's go ahead and do local storage. We already redeemed some Pokemon cards. Remember, we got the new channel point redemption, and I'm talking these cards are these ain't your grandma's Pokemon cards here, folks. These are rare. These are exclusive. These I'm setting out some cards that are worth some money here. Yeah. Use your channel points. Use your channel points, folks. That's how you do it. What about an original blue cartridge? Do you got that? Of course I got it. I got an original blue cartridge with an updated battery with an original Mew. Not a hacked Mew, an original Pokemon Tour 1998 Mew, and I have it backed up on a flash cartridge as well. So, just saying. Just saying. I haven't met any other collectors that got that. I haven't met one other collector that goes for a full Pokedex that has that Mew. Just saying. Just saying. It's the Pokemon cards that right now, if you were to redeem your channel points for the Pokemon cards, all the cards are worth over $5 in value. They're all worth over $5 in value. Some of you are going to get like some ballin' cards, and some of you are going to get some not so ballin' ones, but they're pretty up there. They're pretty up there. All right. Local storage. Local storage allows you to store data across your browser session, right? Across your browser session. So that means what we've seen so far when it comes to JavaScript is that if we refresh, all of our stuff gets thrown out the window. But with local storage, even if we refresh, it would still be there. International shipping, yes. I will ship anywhere in the world because it's just a singular card, right? So I think I can make that work anywhere. But if for some reason this becomes like a really popular thing and the costs skyrocket, or I find out that it costs like $100 to ship to some random place, then it might be the end of it. But for now, I think if it's just a card, I can do a very simple envelope. Yeah. We want bets. They're coming. We got some gambling. Well, not gambling. We're not gambling. We got some YOLOing coming up soon with the card game that we will be building. But before we get there, we got to learn some local storage. So local storage just enables you to store data across your browser session so that as you refresh, you're not throwing things out the window. So let's see how it works. You can put stuff into local storage by using this local storage set item. So set item best friend. Now there will be an object in local storage that has the best friend property and the value of Bob. You can also get an item out of local storage, right? You can get an item out of local storage by going ahead and just using the get item method on local storage. You also can remove an item from local storage with the remove item method. And you can clear everything in local storage simply with the clear. So let's go ahead and just try doing some local storage stuff. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to copy this. I'm just going to go ahead and open up my inspector. I'm going to open up my console. And I'm just going to do a local storage.clear just to make sure there's nothing in there. Okay. Now YOLO my mortgage. No. Predictions. Thank you, Alyssa. I couldn't remember the word. Predictions. They are predictions. Thank you. All right. Cop? Why does it say cop? All right. Local storage said I am best friend, Bob. So now in local storage should be a best friend object with the property with the value of Bob. And what you can do is you can look at inside of the inspector. You can go to the application tab, right? You can go to the application tab. And then if you look, there is a local storage option right there. Local storage right there. And so as soon as I click on local storage, you can see stored in there is best friend and a value of Bob. And if I refresh the page, still there. Still there. All right, still there. And you can also see session storage. Chat, anybody know the difference between session storage and local storage? Anybody know the difference between session storage and local storage? Can't get rid of Bob that easily. Yeah, session ends on the refresh, right? Or the closing of that browser session, right? And so it doesn't enable you to save it across multiple sessions. And so that's the key difference there. And so let's go ahead and I think I got to start presenting again. Whoop. the dunes. There we go. Let me start presenting again. And let me open up the inspector again. And now that we set the item into local storage, we can also get the item. So we can do local storage dot get item, and we want the best friend. Cool. And you can see I get Bob back. Even across a refresh, right? Even across a refresh, I can get this local storage. So, Leon, why do you want to save stuff in local storage? Well, we don't have databases yet. And we're going to get the databases pretty soon. But for right now, what if I wanted to build a game? And what if I wanted to keep the total of the game going for a longer period of time? What if I wanted to have a game where I wanted to keep the score over a couple days? And I don't want to have to accidentally refresh my tab, or my computer locks and when I turn it back on, it refreshes. Well, if that ever happened, if you ever accidentally refreshed, well, your score would disappear, right? And so the idea of having this local storage means that you can now store stuff in your applications across a period of time. And you can do that for any of your users. It's not just on your computer that you can do this, but you can store stuff into local storage for other folks as well. So it's basically a save button. Yeah, exactly. It's like a save button. Now we got a place to store stuff that exists across refreshes. Cool. All right, so it's going to lead us into our actual project. What I want to do is I want to make a local bot score button. The follicle said, it's like emailing your score to yourself. I want to make a local bot score button. So let's go ahead and open up this code together. If you're new here, you need the starter code, !Discord in our chat. We'll bring you to our Discord community, agree to the rules. There's a follow along materials channel that has all this starter code for you. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the local storage bot score button. And what I want you to do is I want you to create a button that adds 1 to a bot score stored in local storage. So the first thing you're going to need to do is do a local storage dot set item, and you're going to need a bot score, and you're going to set that to 1. Right? Well, let's just set it to 1, or maybe we set it to 0 because we're starting off at 0. But then what I want you to do is I want you to create a button that every time you click the button, it adds 1 to the bot score, and then maybe make it visual so we can see the result. Okay. So I want you to think through this. Look at the past 4 slides to get the methods that you need, and I want you to take a quick 5. Let's do 4 minutes. Let's do 4 minutes. See if we can get this in 4 minutes. And then we're going to take our break. So go ahead. Wow, no idea. It's all right. It's all right. You're going to need an event listener. Let's make it 5. Let's make it 5. Let's make it fair for folks. Cool. All right. You're going to need an event listener. That event listener should reset the bot score. So you can use set item to update as well. Angel said, what's the whole purpose of local storage? It's the idea that we can store stuff across browser sessions so that we can refresh the page and not lose all our data. I want you to add 1. Add 1. Every time you click the button, it adds 1 to the item in local storage. Ali said, I'm only watching to get an idea, way behind on the materials. That's okay. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for stopping by. Absorb. Zilke's kind of. Is it stored somewhere on your local? Well, it has to be, right? It's definitely stored on your machine. Now, where is it stored? Is, I guess, a more clarifying point. But yes, it's stored on your machine. Now, where that container is probably relative to where your browser is saved. All right, you got 3 minutes, folks. You got 3 minutes. Keep digging. You got this. Ooh, Noxia with the Dunzo already. Whew. Leon, now I want cookies. Me too. Think you got the counter to work? Chocho thinks they're done. All right. How do you start the web server to test? Just open the HTML file in your browser of choice. So just open the file in Chrome. That'll work. That's it, Chocho. Just the incrementing. That's all we're looking to do here. If you want to get more fancy with it, go for it. If you want to add a couple other buttons, +1, +2, whatever. Alrighty, folks. Ooh, my stomach was grumbling. I don't know if the microphone picked that up. Alrighty, folks. Ooh, we got some more duns coming in. Alrighty, folks. Minute 20 seconds left. Somebody said, where is local storage again in the browser? Sure, I can show that. People are asking, where is the data actually stored? So it depends on your operating system. But depending on your operating system, it's going to be stored in like different application folders. And some browsers, there is kind of like just like a part on your hard drive or SSD where it gets stored. Some, I believe it's like an actual kind of like SQL-like database that it gets stored into, but it's getting stored to like your actual like drive, like your actual hard drive, somewhere like in your application folders. All right, you want to see where it's at in the browser, right-click Inspect. Let me get this out the way here. Go to Applications. And then in your application, there's going to be this local storage here. You click on that, you're going to see everything in the local storage. Alrighty. Come on back, come on back. Let's look at this together. This is a tricky one. I know it's a new concept. We're going to review it and then we're going to take our break. I'm a hacker now. Alrighty, let's take a peek. Oh, it's got to vibe out for a second. All right, there you go. Sorry, I had to get the vibe in for killing it. All right, so we set the local storage to 0 when we first start. So there will now be a bot score key stored in our local storage that has a value of 0. Let's go ahead to the HTML here and let's go ahead and create that button. Cool. Another one. Cool. Another one. Another one. And let's go ahead and create our click event. Document.query selector. And we're going to look for that button. And we're going to say add event listener. It's going to be a click. And we're going to call the another one function. cool. Let's go ahead and create our function. Another one. Cool. And the first thing we want to do is we want to get the value of the bot score. So let's do that. Let's say let bot score equal another one. Local storage dot get item. And the item we want to get is bot score. Cool. So whenever we click the button, we're going to get the bot score. We the best, right? We're going to get the bot score. Every time we click that button, we're getting the bot score. But we don't just want to get it. We want to update it. We want to do another one. So let's go ahead and do local storage dot set item, and we're going to set bot score, right, to be bot score, and we can do plus plus. So we can just add one. We could add one, right? We could add one inline. We could have also done this like inline as well. To make it maybe a little bit more readable, we could do bot score equals bot score plus one, right? So we can add one if we want to see like a little bit more clearly adding one, right? Subtoast redeemed check on Simba. Oh no, I'm sorry. Simba has left the building, so you get Bobcam. What? Look at Bobcam. Woo! Bobcam. Look at Bob go. Bobcam. Bobcam. Oh yeah, Bobcam. Hold on. Let's get some music going. The hydration. Thank you, Plasma. Look at Bob go. Oh, you didn't know he had moves like that, did you? Didn't know he had moves. Look at him go. Is that a 360? What? That's wild. Go, Bob. It's your birthday. Go, Bob. It's your birthday. Bob spit the hot fire. All right. So we got the current bot score. We added one to it. And then we reset the bot score to be that plus one. Let's do the last thing and maybe just alert bot. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's just do it. Let's save this for right now. Let's see what happens. Let's get another one. Another one. Let's try it. Gonna open this in the browser. Gonna open up the inspect tool. We're gonna go to, oh, we have an error in the console. Let's make sure we have an error. All right, it was the image error. Don't worry about that. Let's go to our application, local storage. Some weird stuff here. Don't know what that was. Might have given away some referral keys or something there. So we got some local storage here. And let's go ahead and click on another one. All right, so we got bot scores 1. Let's click on another one. Let's click another one. Another one. Get it? Hold on. Get it? Another one. Hold on. Another one. Another. You get it? Y'all got. You all got. You came here to learn how to code and you got. All right, let's look at how we can fix this. Chat, how can I fix this? What can I fix? How can I fix it? 2 hour, 11-minute build up. Yeah, we can just throw number around it. Cool, let's save. Let's go ahead and refresh. And let's go ahead and do another one. Hey, look at this go now. I refresh. Another one. Another one. But wait a minute. We got a problem. We got a problem. Look what happens when I refresh. Leon, I thought you said the whole point of local storage. They said the whole point of local storage was that it didn't go away. I thought the whole point of local storage didn't go away. Remember, we keep resetting it back to 0 out here. So let's put a conditional. Let's go ahead and do local storage. Let's go ahead and grab it. So we can get item. All right, we can get item. We're gonna look for bot score. What do we get if it's not there? All right, so we can say bang, right? Oh, let's try that debacle. Let's try that. Let's do a bang here. So if we don't get a bot score, let's make it 0. Let's save this. All right, let's save this. Let's refresh. All right, another one, another one, another one, another one. Refresh. And now we're staying. Look at us go. Look at us go. Look, ma, no hands. All right. Go fast, break things. Yo, what's up? Cool. So now it's working. And we can refresh to our heart's content. We're going to make sure that, hey, we're going to check. Is there something called a bot score? If there's not, that's what the bang stands for. Not. If there's not, we set that item, right? We set bot score to 0. But after the first time this runs, it'll never run again. That conditional just stops us from resetting. We have our event listener. We have another one where we get the value that's currently in bot score. We add 1 to it, and then we set it so that the score keeps going up. Alrighty. Now there's some other ways we could have done this. There are like some modification to make this. I think this is pretty readable though. So we'll stick with this for right now. But it is time for us to take a break. The bang just says not. So basically we're saying if we do this, we're saying, hey, does this exist? Right? If it exists, we don't want to set it to 0. Right? If it already exists, we don't want to set it to 0 because if it exists, this evaluates to true, which would then make this line run. But with the not, if this does not exist, like it does not exist, that then evaluates to true and we create it. Basically, it's for if the thing is not already in local storage, we create it. But if it is in local storage, who cares? We move on. It's just for us to check. It's just for us to check. Does it exist in local storage or not? Because if it doesn't exist, then we should create it. But if it does exist, then we just move on. That conditional doesn't get met and we move on. You got it, Emma. Nice. All right, folks. let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock for our break. If you're able to get up, move around, hydrate, do what you can to stretch and take care of yourself. We'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm gonna put our lovely break music on. Boom. Another one. Exactly, Enigma. I be playing this music when it's not even stream. I love it. How long can we store data in local storage? As long as you want, until you clear it. I have a problem where I constantly use Bang to check for the lack of validity rather than checking for validity. Yeah, it's actually like when you get into like JavaScript best practices, it's actually one of the things they tell you not to do. Like if you read Martin Fowler's clean code, it's something that's kind of like not the best of practices, but for now, we're learning, right? Best practices come with time. Lawn ball. Post it on Discord. Take a look at it there. Is there a Learn with Leon playlist? No, not yet, but we can put that together. Can we see the HTML quickly again? Yeah. I forgot I made it that big. There you go. We got a button. That's it. That's all we really added. That's the only thing from the sorry, it's the only thing from the HTML that we added. Got 3 minutes left, folks. Booty Liquor with the bits. Thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. I hate Java. What's your take? It's not my favorite language, but I always view languages as tools. And sometimes there are some tools that I want to use Java for, and I use them. This JS stuff is hard. Yeah, it can get hard. Can you do some scratching on the stream sometime? I did take a DJ class for like 2 or 3 classes. There's this really cool place in Cambridge, Massachusetts called Artisan Asylum. And it's just like a collective of all different types of artists across different types of mediums. And they run a bunch of cool classes. They can go like do glass blowing or some other weird stuff. But they did a DJ class one time and I did it for like 3 classes and then life got in the way. I don't have a DJ name. I do have a DJ name. I really do. And you could probably guessed it based on this stream, but I'm pretty sure there's some stuff I don't want people to find on the internet tied to it, so I'm not going to say it. Boo Boo, thank you for the 100 bits. DJ Dominoes in the mix. No. Everyone's trying to guess my DJ name. That'd be a fun channel point redemption. You get to pick my DJ name, and then I can have like a special like that person gets to like say when I go into DJ mode, and it's just the music and lights going. All right, folks, about a minute left for the break. Minute left, and then we'll come on back. Does Domino's do puff pastry base in the US also? Man, my stomach is a grumbling. Getting me hungry, folks. My wife made a beautiful vegan, it's like a shepherd's pie. Oh, can't wait. I had a lunch club with someone from Nigeria. That's dope. That's cool. Potatoes, pork. Potatoes over like vegetables and lentils and stuff. Marry me, Bob. All right, folks, come on back. Come on back. Bob, what do you think? Do you think you should marry Bob? Bob, what do you think, Bob? Bob, tell the people. Do you accept the proposal? Yes or no, Bob? I guess Bob's a little camera shy tonight, but we'll check back in. I gotta give Bob a voice. That's I gotta set up a voice changer. So when I switch to Bob, the voice changer comes on, and that'll be Bob's voice. Alrighty, folks. I want to end today. We got some local storage in. With this, we can start making applications that don't refresh. So when we refresh the page, everything doesn't get thrown out of the bathwater. And so we can use that to kind of keep pushing. Let's go ahead, and I want to work on 2 APIs to round out the rest of the class. So we got about half an hour, some change left. Let's get some good API work in. Let's build some fun apps. And then we will call it this evening. Remember, no class tomorrow, and then we have class on Saturday, our office hours on Saturday. You don't want to miss office hours. It's going to be a good office hours. Lots of Git and GitHub stuff to review, and some we're going to be kind of troubleshooting some APIs, messing with some cores errors and some of the stuff you might have been tripping up on. So definitely don't want to miss office hours on Saturday. Cool. All right, let's go back to the slides. Let's chill the music here. All right. Alrighty. Let's build a card game. So I had an idea to give him a Bane voice. That'd be hilarious, Alyssa. I'll see if I can make it work. I'll see if I can get it to work. I have a USB mic. I don't know how I can do voice changing on a USB. I'll try it out. I'll figure it out. I think that'd be a fun one. Maybe we'll set up as a community goal. All right. I had an idea to do like a war card game, like where you pull up 2 cards and the one card beats the other. So let's get that started, and then I'm going to ask you all to finish that for homework. So let's try getting a kind of like a war type card game going. And then if you wanted to go all out, like you wanted to do like a poker or something like that, be my guest. But let's use this card API and get it working. I'm going to make a copy of my API template real quick, and I'm just going to rename it card game. So I'm just using the API template. I'm going to call it card game. So that's all I'm doing, just making a copy of it. And I'm going to go back to VS Code, and you're going to see in my VS Code that I have like the card game now. So I'm going to close these 2. I'm going to open up card game main.js. Need so much help with GitHub? Come on Saturday. We got you. We got you. Yes, I love war, no strategy. Alrighty. So we got all this stuff in here. Let's just get rid of this. Let's get back to the bare bones in the API here. Let's just leave it like this for right now. And let's look at this card API that I found. So it's a deck of cards API, and I'm going to put it in chat as well, just so you can all pull it up. There you go. No, it was just an API template that was in the materials. All right. So if we look at this deck of cards API, they have a couple endpoints. And the endpoints that they have is Saturday is the day. Let's go. Yeah, I agree. So we have the day here. We can get a deck. And so it's going to return, right? It's going to return a deck of cards. And if we look, it'll give us like a specific deck. So that's really neat. Like it can generate random decks of cards. And That's pretty neat. And then once you have a deck of cards, like right here, you can just plug in that deck and draw 2 cards from that deck. So it's not going to give you just random cards every time. It's going to give you 2 and more cards from the deck. I'm saying deck, yeah. It's going to keep giving you 2 or more cards from the same deck of cards, right? So we can get one deck and then keep drawing from that deck. So this is a really cool API. It's fancy, exactly, fancy. And so let's try using it. Let's get it going. I like to play with my APIs in Postman first, and so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of play with it in here. No, I don't want to save. Let's just see what we're getting back. So I'm going to paste it in. Sending. Cool. So I can see I got back a deck here. So I'm going to use that as part of my next query. All right. Would it be possible to set the speed synthesizer so that it comes to the browser? Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be interesting. We could do that maybe. So the reason I'm using Postman here is because I want to get like a deck back and then be able to use it and not have to worry about like managing all my queries inside of my HTML and my JavaScript. And so I've got a deck here, and let's go grab this other route, like this other URL here. Here's the other URL. And I'm just going to go back to Postman, and I'm going to open up another tab. And in this other tab, I'm going to paste in that URL. But I'm going to grab the deck ID that came back with this one. All right. Cool. And here, whenever you see those carrots, you remove the text and the carrots. And I'm going to paste in that ID. Cool. And let's send it and see what we get back. Cool. All right, so it worked. I got 2 cards. And you can see all the information about the cards. I got 2 cards. And it even tells me how many cards I have left. All right, it even tells me how many cards I have left. So let's try making this request again. I got 2 different cards, and my cards went down to 48. All right, my cards went down to 48. So I can see that this API is actually working, right? I was able, in my one tab, to get a deck of cards, right? And then I was able to then use that deck in my URL to constantly draw 2 cards from it, right? And I can see that the deck keeps going down by 2. And so I think I could build a war card game based off of just this API because it's doing all the heavy lifting for us. That's pretty neat. How did you get dark mode in Postman? I believe it's just an option in settings, and I just turned it on. Whenever I have like a white UI, I immediately look for dark mode. I think it really helps with folks that have contrast issues and doesn't hurt your eyeballs as much. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and... Is returning 2 cards the default? It looks like we can set the count to be whatever we want here. So let's try a different one. Maybe we want to make it like a 4-player game. So let's set the count to 4 and hit send. And yeah, our remaining went down to 44 and we got 4 cards this time. Cool. So it really is just the count metric that controls how many cards we get back. But you do need to get the initial deck first. Is there any other things here that could be helpful to us? Reshuffle the cards. That could be interesting. Get a brand new deck. Partial deck. Ooh, partial deck will be good. Any poker players in chat? Any Triton? Yeah, it's called Triton, right? Triton poker. Triton poker is supposed to be like a more... Like it's supposed to be like a more action-packed poker game because it removes it removes most of the lower cards. So like no 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, or 6s. I think it starts at 7, right? And so we could make a version of that poker variant with this partial deck API. That'd be pretty cool. That might actually be part of homework. That might be the push homework to make that poker game. Yeah. Okay. That could be the push. All right. But let's build War. For those that don't know War, it's a card game that I grew up playing. I'm sure most folks might have heard of it. You draw 2 cards. Whatever card is the greater card, you get those 2 cards, and you go until there are no cards left. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty, let's go ahead and try it. So we got our APIs working. Let's go ahead and we're just going to grab this URL to start. We need to get the deck first. And so I'm going to go back to my code. And we have our get fetch button. So we don't need this input. We don't need the which Pokemon. We don't need any of this stuff. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to make this called draw cards. Make this draw cards. And then let's have a place to put the cards. So let's have an H2 here. And this could be player 1. Cool. And then we're going to have an image place for their card. And then player 2. Cool. And we'll have an image spot for their card. And we'll call this one, let's give this the ID equal to player 1. And we'll give this the ID of player 2. Cool. There you go. So now we have 2 image cards. And then maybe we just have like another spot for the text. And we'll say like who won. Maybe we can put like the winner there. Put the winner there. All right. Let's start with that. Let's start by, even before our click event, let's go ahead and get the deck. Get the deck. Cool. And so we're going to need a fetch to get the deck. So I'm just going to copy this fetch here. Cool. We don't need a choice. We just need a deck. And so we don't need any of this stuff. We don't even need it to be in a function. Whoop. So I'm just grabbing the fetch. That's all I'm doing. So I got my lovely fetch here. And what I'm going to do as soon as the page loads, we're going to fetch. And let's grab the URL from Postman. So just the URL, just the deck of cards that I got from the API documentation. Let's go ahead and plug that deck in. Cool. And we're going to get some data back. And let's just create a variable called deck. So let deck equal. And let's call it deck ID. We want the deck ID. So deck ID is just an empty string at first. And then we're going to say let deck ID equal data. And then let's look at Postman to see what it's going to be. Data.deck_ID. So it's going to be deck_ID. Data.deck_ID. Let's save all this and let's make sure that this piece is working first. Just this fetch. Okay? Just this fetch. So let's go ahead and open this in the browser. And let's look in the inspector. Let's look in the console. And so we can see that we have an object back. We have 52 cards. Let's check to see if we have a deck ID. Still 0. Did we set up the right way? Let's go ahead and look at our JavaScript. Oh, I redeclared it. Whoops. Don't redeclare it. Don't redeclare it. All right. Let's save this. Let's refresh. All right, let's ask for deck ID. There we go. All right, we got a deck ID. Don't use my deck. We have a deck ID. Let's go ahead and now that we have the deck ID, we can start drawing cards from that deck. All right, we can start drawing cards from that deck. So let's go ahead and start trying to draw cards from this deck. All right, so this runs right as the page loads. We get our deck and we get the deck ID. We store it in this variable. We have our event listener on the button. And we're just going to plop in the URL. And so let's go back to, you can go back to like the actual API documentation, but I already have it in Postman. So I'm just going to grab it from here in Postman. And I'm going to plug this into here, the URL. And we want the count to be 2, not 4. And we want this in here to be our deck ID. So deck ID, remember, this ran on page load. We got the deck ID stored in this variable. And we're using our template literal to plug that deck ID in. All right, to plug that deck ID in. So let's go ahead. Yeah, we're going to do some predictions. Let's go ahead and let's just get to this part, and then we'll step back and explain what we're doing. So let's just see if we can get 2 cards drawn. And so I'm just going to console log the data here. That's all I'm going to do. Let's get rid of this console log here. We don't need that anymore. And let's just make sure we can draw 2 cards. Let's go back here. I'm going to close the rest of these. Let's go ahead and refresh. And I'm going to click on draw cards. Great. We got 2 cards back. We have an array of cards, right? And we got 50 cards left. And we got 50 cards left. Now, I think there's a problem that's about to happen. Let's if we keep drawing cards, we're okay. But chat, what's the problem that we might run into? What's the problem that we could run into? Yeah, if we refresh, we're going to get a new deck and a new ID, which might be okay for now, but we're going to lose this deck ID. So maybe, I don't know, as part of the homework, hint, hint, you could store a deck ID somewhere and make sure you're using the same deck ID. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. That sounds like something cool kids would do, right? How you do that, though, I don't know, right? There we go. Subtle. All right. Let's see if we can start using these cards, though. So let's just do a quick recap for folks that are following along, which I hope you all are. We had a variable called deck ID, and we made our first fetch. The first fetch goes ahead and grabs a new deck. And we update our deck ID variable to be the deck that we got back. So we're just going to grab the ID from that deck. And so deck ID is now holding that one deck because we only want to pull cards from that deck. Okay. All right. From that deck. Okay. So we have that deck ID stored. And then when we come down here, we just have our normal event listener, right? When we click, it fires the get fetch function here. And all we're doing is console logging the data right now. But instead of console logging the data, just console logging data, let's see if we can put some stuff into the DOM. So document.querySelector, query selector. Cool. We're going to say, what was the ID is player 1, which is our first image. Our first image is player 1. We're going to change the source to be equal to data dot, what did we get back? Data.cards0image. Data.cards, cards is an array. So we want the first one, and we want the image off of that first object in the array. Like if we look, you can see that cards is an array. So if we grab the 0th one, that's the first card. and it has an image property. So we can just go ahead and grab that. We can just go ahead and grab that. All right, let's go ahead and grab that. So let's try that. And since we're here, we might as well do the other one, right? Just if it works, it works. Cool. Let's save it. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Oh, I had to refresh. All right. Let's draw cards. All right. We got the 8 of clubs and the Queen of diamonds showing up in the DOM. First try. All right. First try. Cool. So now we got the cards showing up in the DOM. In War, does one color rank higher than the other? Not the way I grew up playing it. It's just the value of the cards. All right, just the value of the cards. Didn't mean to click on performance. All right, so now we're at least getting the images. Let's see what came. Let's go back to Postman real quick and just see what comes with the cards. It gives you a value. There's a value property. That's really helpful. There's a couple ways we could do this. Some ways I'm thinking that we could do is we could have a switch case, and we could use that value to fall through our switch, and each one has a different numerical point value, and then we could just compare the point values. I think that's what I would maybe do. We could do some conditional logic. What would be the easiest for folks to understand? Let's just do some comparisons. Let's just do. I wish it gave it like a numerical value for it. Let me do a conditional and then I'll show the switch. Maybe we'll do that. If we run out of time, we'll do the switch during office hours. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to get that first card. So we're going to say let val1 equal, and we're just going to grab that first image, that first card. And it's dot value, because remember that those cards have that value. And then let val2 equal data. Well, the same thing, right? But it's the second one. Dot value. Cool. And let's create a function that like determines card value. Function card value. Cool. And it takes in a val, and it's going to return a value. So we're going to say if val equals, and it was all caps, right? We could just do it 2 lowercase or something, but yeah, it's all caps. So let's just do it all caps. If val equals king, return 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's return 15. Cool. Else if, yeah, kind of get what I'm trying to do here. Val equals queen, return 14. Right? I'm just assigning numerical values to the cards. That way it just makes the comparison real easy. And do else if. All right. Val equals. We should do ace. Let's do ace first. Ace. King. Queen. Turn 13. We're going to do another else if. And like I said, I don't think this is how I'd actually really like do it in production, but I think this might be readable for folks, and so we'll try this. We'll do this. Jack. And we'll return 12. So This should be 11. This should be 12. This should be 13. And this should be 14. There we go. Cool. Easier with a switch case? Yeah, I think it's a switch case. I just don't know if folks have seen a switch case yet. So we'll do it with the conditional first, and then I'll show it with the switch case. But I just wanted to see. Confusion. Let's talk about it. So when we get the cards back from the API, the problem we have right now is we want to compare the two cards, right? We want to compare the two cards, right? We want to compare the two cards. Right now we can see that the value they're giving us is ace and 5. How do I compare ace to 5? I can't really. But what I can do is give ace a numerical value to compare to 5, right? So if I made ace, what did I make ace? I made ace 14. I made king 13. I made queen 12. And I made jack 11 because then we have 10. Right? And so now I can give, if I get that like string back, like the word, I can give it a numerical value, right? I can give it a numerical value. And so that's all I did. And so now what I'll do is I will do my function call of card value of value. And I'm just going to pass in that first card. And I'll explain what this is doing, but we're just going to pass in that first card. And we're going to do the same thing here as well. Card value. Card value. And we're going to do the same thing on this end. Cool. So what's going to happen here? What's going to happen is we're going to get a deck. Once we have the deck, we're going to get 2 cards. Those cards have values that could be ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, right? And so what we want to be able to do is we can't compare ace to 2, right? Because it's a string, like a word and a number. So what I did is I created this function that takes in a value, and it says if that value is the string of ace, then return 14. So I passed in a string and I got a number back, right? And I got a number back. And so what I did here is I just said, all right, well, here's my function. Pass in ace or king or queen or jack or whatever, right? Pass it in, right? Pass it in, right? Pass it in. And maybe I get either 14, 13, 12, or 11 back. And my else can just be return the value, right? Like I could just return it. Because if it's a number, just spit it back out. Just spit the number back out, right? If it's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, just spit the number back out. Right? Just spit it back out. And so now what I can do is I can get my cards back from the API. I can set values for each card. I can change the images in the DOM for each card. And then in the win, right? In the win, we can do some quick maths here, right? So we can say, all right, if val1 is greater than val2, right? If val1 is greater than val2, we're not gonna worry about war for right now. War is when they're the same value. If val1 is greater than val2, what was our HTML called? It was called who1, the h3. We can target that h3 document.query selector, and we can do h3. And so if val1 was greater than val2, then we can put into that some inner text. We can say, all right, well, player 1, 1. Right? Player 1, 1. We can do an else if. Right? And the else if is if val1 is less than val2, it's going to be the same thing, but player 2 won. Let's see if it works, and then we'll try it out. So less than player 2 won, and else we do the same thing, but now it is war. Cool. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Like I said, this is more so that we can see the logic. There are other decisions I would make if I was doing this production ready, but I think this is more readable and folks might be able to catch on a little bit more. All right, let's see what we got. Let's refresh. Let's get a new deck. Draw cards. 4 and a 7. So we saw that player 2 won. Player 2 won because 7 is greater than 4. All right. Player 2 won because 7 is greater than 4. Let's get 2 more cards. Player... Uh-oh. Why did player 1 win? Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's look at the value of the cards. Value of 6. And value of 10. Anybody see what's interesting here? Anybody see what's happening here? Chat, what's going wrong? Why is our thing not working? We didn't do something. Yeah, they're not numbers, they're strings, which makes sense because ace, king, queen, jack, right? Those are strings too. So it makes sense that this is a string. So let's go ahead and let's wrap both of these in number. Just to make sure we're dealing with numbers at the end of the day. Cool. Just sanitizing a little bit here. Making sure that we're both getting numbers, right? Not just strings. All right, let's refresh. We're going to get a new deck now. All right, we got a 3 and a king. Player 2 should have won. We did. Player 2 won. Nice. Draw 2 more cards. Ace and ace. We got a war. All right, so when it's the same, you get a war. All right, let's get 2 more cards. Deuce and deuce. War again. Double war. Whew. This would be some heat. A king and a 9. So player 2 won. King is better than 9. That's good. Draw 2 more. 6 is less than a jack. So player 1 won. 3 is greater than 2. So player 2 won. All right. I think it's time for a prediction, folks. It's for a prediction. All right, here's the rules of this prediction. Here's how this prediction is going to work. You're going to pick player 1 or player 2 to win. If we get a war, you have to YOLO the same amount of points again. All right? You got to double your points. So if you put 5, if you put 5 points up and we hit a war, you have to put 10 points up on the next one. I will go back through line by line through this chat history to find the cheaters. But this is what you're committing to. If you put points up and we hit war, you must double your bet on the next run. All right? If you don't want to play the game, don't play the game. But if you're going to play, this is how we play. All right. Deal. All right, let me start the prediction. All right. What? All right. Player 1 or player 2 wins. Hold on. Setting it up still. Player 1, all lowercase. Player 2, all lowercase. Submission period, 1 minute. Prediction is live. Prediction is live, folks. Prediction is live. Go ahead. If you need to look at the code to make sure it's a fair game, you can go ahead and look at the code to make sure it's a fair game here. Make sure it's a fair game. I think it's fair. Look at the code. You got a minute to get your predictions in. Player 1 or player 2. If we get war, you double the points. Player 1 or player 2. Predictions open for another 40 seconds. Looking at the code. Looking at the code. You got this. Welcome all the new folks. Got a lot of new folks. Kevin, Lahart, Zane, Chan, Frank Programmer, Hexa, NS Lindu, Scotty, Abel, Casa, Lance. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Look at these points. Look at these points coming in. Yes, let's go. All right, all right. Prediction period has ended. Let us go back. We are going to, we're going to get a fresh deck, folks. Fresh deck. All right. Going to draw cards. 3. Ooh, Sergio with the Pokemon card. DM me, please, after stream. DM me on Discord. All right. 3, 2, 1. Player 2 won. Yes. Yes. Player 2 won. Let me complete that prediction. Choose outcome. Player 2. Complete. Complete. Player 2 with the win. Player 2 with the win. All right. Oh, people are cashing in that Pokemon card now. They're like, I got the win. Who got the most YOLO? Who YOLO'd the most? Who got the most? Plus 12K, 20K, 20K on a YOLO. Whew. Run it back. I'm broke now. I lost 15. The bank always wins. Woo! All right, all right. Should we run it back once? Should we run it back once? Run it back once. No new deck. No new friends. No new friends. No new deck. Yeah, we're gonna run it back. All right. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. All right. I'm going to run it back. Set up the next prediction. Now remember, if it is war, you have to do double the points. If it is war, you must do double the points. All right. Starting a prediction now. Got it. You got 1 minute on the new prediction. 1 minute on the new prediction. We got some good rewards, folks. You want these challenge points. You probably, it's probably worthwhile to YOLO. This is too much. do we need to see the code again? Just to make sure it's a fair game. We're not doing a new deck. I'm just gonna click those cards. So maybe if you're thinking some statistics here, I don't know what you're gonna do. Some folks are talking about, well, if it's the player 2, they have less cards available. I don't know. There's some odds to be played here as well. All right. I'm gonna YOLO on a Pokemon card. Please let me win this one. All right. Got 20 seconds left to get in this. Remember, if it's a war, you must double your points. $24 racks on player 1 already. You ready? Deep breath. Calm. Bob. Wish them good luck, Bob. Wish them good luck. All right, thank you, Bob. Bob wished you some luck, gave you some strength, praying for y'all. All right, let's go up and click this draw cards. 3, 2, 1. Player 1 with the win. Yes, it's even. It's even. You got a player 1 and a player 2. Player 1 and a player 2. Indifferent. Hey. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate you, as always. Thank you so much. I really do. Thank you for all the help and for the gifted subs. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. All right, let me confirm this prediction. All right. Alrighty, folks. We're at our time this evening. We're going to come back, though. On Saturday, we have our lovely office hours. On office hours, when we come back, we'll YOLO one more time. So come on Saturday. Saturday, we are covering Git and GitHub. The stuff, you don't want to miss this stuff. It's going to be really helpful for when you start pushing your code, when you start submitting your homework. So Saturday, we're going to do Git and GitHub. We're going to finish up this war game API. We're going to finish this up. We are going to get a little bit more API practice as well. Manny with the Pokemon card, send me a message after class on Discord. I'll get that coming your way. And I will post the homework on Discord after class. So as soon as we're done, I'm going to post all the homework. I'm going to post links so you can submit the homework that's due today. So that's all going to be on there after class. But as always, we want to end with a raid. We always want to send some love and positivity somewhere else. Always want to send some love somewhere else. Anonymous cheer. Hey, thank you for the 100 bits. So hang on. You're going to need those channel points. You want to start YOLO and you're going to need some more channel points. So hang around. Let's do the raid together. You'll get more channel points if you do the raid. All right. Let's go to Encendilosaurus. Maybe they can help us with our NASA API. Maybe they can help us with that NASA API. If you haven't followed them, they do some amazing work. If you haven't followed them, please give them a follow. They do amazing classes, data science, other fun stuff. So have a good, wonderful evening, everyone. Have a good day wherever you are. I'll see you on Saturday to come YOLO some more points, to work on some more APIs. Thank you for putting in the work. Check Discord after class for the homework. Let's raid.